There we go. Welcome to another edition of Trust the Process Podcast. Yours truly. I am Rob the People's Plug Martin, joined by always the Italian Stallion, also known as the Reverend.
What's up? How y'all doing?
He preaches the gospel. And the Mr. Irregular String.
What's up? He said he preaches the gospel.
I know it's awkward.
And Mr. Irregular String.
What's up?
Julius Maddox live.
Slammed his phone down.
No phones. What's up, guys? We're doing the podcast early this week.
Early, dropped a special on him.
Yeah, Julius got unannounced.
Man,
Yeah.
0 views.
Whose fault is that?
Jews.
How's it my fault?
Jew got to go out of town.
How's it my fault? I got to go out of town.
He got a business
Yeah,
trip.
but this is how much we're dedicated, right?
We had a
Still made
meeting.
it work.
I was going to say, we had a meeting. We talked about this when we're going to shoot, right?
Yeah, he got a business trip.
So we made it happen, right? So
yeah, and then Nick didn't show up.
I'm here.
Let's
go.
It's always something, man.
Sometimes you got to adjust.
man.
Yeah,
I
know
can't
that's
keep
right.
calling the same running play. You got the audible sometimes.
You get to call an audible.
Yeah. Good coaches adjust.
Hey, look, I used to turn them up with them audibles on Madden.
Hey,
I used to turn Nick and Rob up with them audibles on Madden.
I just remember Rob playing with Peyton Manning and doing all that dumb stuff, and we put his players on injury.
And they was getting smoked.
He didn't know what was going on. He was like, "Why does everybody keep getting hurt?"
Yeah,
they was getting hurt. They was fumbling the balls. They wasn't catching no balls.
I used to handle y'all in Madden.
Man,
And I was a champion.
You don't want to see me in Madden.
And I was a champion. I ain't played in so long.
I remember one time I beat Michael Pope. This was like in 2011. I beat Michael Pope like 67-0.
Yeah.
Like, it was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in the existence of the game.
He was hot.
He was like, I'll get the weakest team on the... You know how people would just be... There's like a rematch. I'll get the weakest team on the game, and we can run it back.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah.
He found out real
So what y'all think about how this now that I guess we call it season 2, how y'all think it's going?
I mean, we're just getting started. So, I mean, we had a long hiatus, man, that last stretch. Probably needed, but...
It took us out of groove.
Yeah, it did. It took us out of groove. But, I mean, we're back. Most people don't recover from stuff like that.
Yeah.
When it comes, seriously, when it comes to the social media stuff and being relevant and trying to stay relevant in this, when people take long breaks like that, some people don't come back.
Yeah,
So I mean, we're back and we're gonna be bringing you guys some great content.
Back streets back.
But what was the question? You know, we talked about. We'll start it off with the podcast.
Oh yeah. So what I asked is if you could have, and I got it wrong. I didn't mean superhuman. If you could only choose and constantly have one trait, what would it be and why? Nick.
Like, what's a trait? Like what? Like humbleness?
Like discipline?
Yeah.
You could say humbleness,
yeah.
discipline.
I would say discipline.
Yeah.
You took mine.
I mean, that was a good one because it affects all areas of life.
Like when you're... Go ahead. Why you pick discipline?
Yeah, I took mine too.
Yeah, I mean, discipline, you can apply it over every area of life, whether finances, family, health.
I got one.
I mean, everything is probably controlled by discipline.
Yeah.
I think my trait would be the ability to be able to problem solve. Because if you can problem solve things, like that's why companies hire people is to fix problems.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's why people go to other people to fix problems. So one thing that I know is that it doesn't matter what like workforce. What's the word I'm looking for?
It doesn't matter
like what your trade is or what your job is or just at any point.
What field you're in.
Yeah, what field you're in. That's what I was looking for. What field you're in. Like the ability to be able to problem solve, man, you're valuable. Like what we talked about, like, you know, with the situation with your wife, like she holds so much value that she's not expendable. You just can't expend her because like for real though.
Remember we talked about that whenever you what would we say that are you trade-inable?
Yeah, are you can you be traded in?
Yeah.
Like, are you expendable?
Yeah.
Like
I've been investing in her.
But no, like seriously, like it doesn't matter what field you're in. Like the ability to be able to problem solve. Yes, discipline is very key, but I feel like, man, my superpower would be the ability to be able to problem solve. You know, because That's what we face every day. Is we have encounters to where we have to problem solve.
Is there a problem that's not solvable?
What's that math equation that ain't never been solved?
AIDS.
But is it solvable though, or somebody just hasn't done it?
I mean, that's the same thing, ain't it?
So is there any problem that's not solvable? Or would you just say it's not been solved yet?
I would say it's not been solved yet. Eventually, like with the
because if there's a problem, there's a solution, right?
Yeah, it's always a solution.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like the ability to be able to problem solve is so like multifaceted. I mean, it doesn't matter what you.
Oh yeah, you're valuable.
Yeah, you're valuable. So we've been talking about bringing value to a company or value to a relationship. The ability to be able to problem solve and fix problems.
Yeah.
I know one problem you can't fix.
What?
Is someone else accepting Jesus Christ? Like that's not on you. That's not on us.
Yeah, you can't, but there are some things that you can do.
Yeah, but you can't fix the problem. That's just like me. I can't force somebody to take in the gospel. That's on God's timing. I can share the gospel, but Nick, how many times have you shared the gospel with the person? They just
share the gospel.
Right?
They just don't. They just don't reciprocate. Like it doesn't register in their mind.
Right, but how important is like prayer? Right, praying for that person.
Oh, it's very important.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got people in my life right now that I'm praying for. I've been praying for.
But you can't do it for them.
Yeah, you can't do it for them. I can't fix that problem for you.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's a God fix.
Yeah. You know the problem solver.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah, I know the problem solver, but I can't fix that. That's probably the only thing, or the only that's the only thing that problem we can't fix is somebody's salvation. Yeah.
But you can't do what we can do, and that's the biggest thing is. And a lot of people will take that.
You can do what you can do with any problem. We can do what we can.
A lot of people write that off, right? A lot of people's like, well, I mean, I can't.
It's a lost cause.
Yeah. So why pray?
Is that human nature? Because I always think about that. Why is our go-to always what we can't do rather than what we can do?
Man.
So I always think about like, what if we viewed the world through the lens of, because it's like some people just have that negative,
Yeah.
You tell them something, it's a million things why you can't do it.
Yeah.
Or why it can't be done.
Yeah.
But instead of focusing on what you can do, maybe you can't fix the whole problem.
Right.
But I can do this.
Yeah. Focus on what you can do. What your part in it is.
Yeah. So like even though you can't save someone, like what you said.
Yeah.
You can
pray. Yeah.
You can pray. You can invite them to church.
I'm not saying
there's all those things you can do.
Which is a very powerful thing.
Yeah, it's a powerful thing, but I'm just saying ultimately it's not up to us to fix that. Like we can't fix that problem. Right. That's got to be a God thing.
Yeah.
That's just like trying to fix somebody's problem with being addicted to drugs. Like we can't
fix it for them.
Fix that for them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of those things to where that individual has to fix themselves.
Right.
Take it up with God. But again, we said if we could have one superpower.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we would.
Mine would be discipline too. I think that discipline is the key to that unlocks everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Self-discipline, if you have discipline in your life and you're able to let's
see what the definition of discipline
is. So disciplined that you will go. I'm trying to figure this out. You will go. Not just anything is acceptable. You know what I'm saying?
So is discipline better than talent?
Oh yeah, every day. Yeah.
What do you think, Jim?
Discipline is going to.
I'm looking to see what the definition of discipline is.
And I think that's the important thing is discipline is going to drive you to talent.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're just if because you see it all the time, people are born very talented, right? But they have a horrible work ethic.
Oh yeah.
And most of the time, people that are talented, people don't like being around them.
Oh yeah, I remember Kevin Durant saying he's played better basketball players that aren't in the NBA.
Right.
And he said they're not in the NBA because they didn't have discipline.
You see them in the parks. You see them just pickup games. Like they're excellent at pickup games. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And they may be more talented than people in the NBA, but there's a reason why they're not there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you see it. They don't have the same work ethic.
Do you think that just comes to is that just a God-given thing? Like, why are some people so like Steph Curry? how can he stay so disciplined to put up 5,000 shots a day?
Still afterwards, after
Still,
winning. Yeah.
Like, how? What you think it's just God given?
Yeah.
You think so?
What? Say it again.
Do you think discipline is God given? Like,
Yeah. I think some people are just disciplined. They're the way they're.
their DNA,
So all
natural?
discipline is turn that back up a little bit. That sounded a little good. Discipline, a lot of times, all it is a result of training, being taught something, and being able to reciprocate that, like take that in, and act out in a certain manner, right?
Yeah.
So the definition of discipline is activity or experience that provides mental or physical training.
Activity.
Activity.
Yeah.
So it's how we respond to that, what you've been taught. So discipline is nothing but, I guess, taking what you learned from whatever lessons and not only applying them, but being consistent in applying those things.
And think about why Steph Curry broke the mold, right? Because he's so relatable.
Yeah.
Usually when you see an NBA player like LeBron, he's 6'9",
yeah,
280.
beast.
Steph Curry's what, 6'2", 6'3". He can't jump out of the gym. He's not super fast. Like what? Like he's disciplined.
Yeah.
Like discipline got him where he's at.
But that's what I'm saying. Discipline based off what? What he learned and he put into effect.
Yeah. So talent will get you there, but discipline is going to keep you there.
Yeah.
Right? So just like Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? What makes somebody who already has it all continue to wake up every day and still strive for
Is that
something?
God given?
I think it is.
Is it like a different tick?
I think that I think that God gives you, it's just like the supernatural.
It's like God gives you the gift.
Yeah, it's like the supernatural and the natural, right? You may be so talented that God gets you in this position, but then you have to make the decision.
You got to hone it.
Yeah, you got to work.
That's what I'm saying. Like
discipline don't just happen.
Like Jew's body type always was going to enable him to be strong.
Yeah, he was very talented.
God gave him that gift.
Yeah.
But he had to be disciplined enough to.
Thanks for stealing my nugget.
Hone in the gift, right? Oh, that was
no, go ahead. No, you tease it out.
So I think that's one thing. Like we have to, like God gives you the gift.
Yeah.
But are you disciplined enough to carry the gift?
That's what I was about to say. So the gift originated from God. Like I've always had the gift of strength.
Always, yeah.
I was just never disciplined enough to tap in, and you know why? Because I wasn't taught.
That's right.
I wasn't taught at an early age.
So discipline has to be taught.
Yeah, discipline has to be taught.
So you've seen it, right? You've seen it when Drew. Oh no, we've talked about this before. When Drew went to that tryout, right?
Oh, bro,
he went up against guys who were disciplined, who worked every single day.
But you got to understand, my talent. It sparked at certain moments of that day. So they seen glimpses of it,
right?
But it wasn't good enough,
right? Because the game is 4 quarters long.
Because I wasn't disciplined enough to practice, to stay away from stuff that I shouldn't be around.
Right.
People, things, places, all these things that I wasn't disciplined enough.
They seen it. They seen the talent there, right?
He said, go get some work and come back. Go put some work in and come back.
Yeah. Go be disciplined.
Yeah, basically.
That's the hard part about discipline is it's not fun, right?
No.
Never.
It's doing your feet work over and over and over again. Like most people think about quarterbacks. They want to go out there and just shine. Hey, I just want to go out there and do my thing. Kind of feel for it.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Brady is in the studying film at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
He's doing, the small things, and they all add up. And eventually, discipline, if you're equally talented, discipline will always pull you
up. Well, again, let's go. We're talking about what's been taught. So now look at what we're about to enter in, something we've never seen in history as far as NBA-wise. Something I don't think in any sport we've ever seen is a son and a dad playing either on the same team or in the same league together.
Yeah, they have.
Who?
I think there's been a bunch of
son. I don't know, together though.
Together at the same time?
MLB, Ken Griffey Jr. played with his dad.
Did he?
Yeah, I think in the NBA there was some father and son.
I don't know about that. LeBron James and Bronny, fact check
same team.
But
on the same team.
I'm talking about the same.
LeBron's trying to do
same team.
They ain't gonna let that happen.
Same team, baby. Why are you being negative about it?
I'm just saying. You think
who's they?
So is he gonna go straight from
both of his
high school?
No, I think he's gonna go to college for a year. It depends, but listen.
They said if LeBron says he's gonna come to your team,
yeah.
If you draft my son,
you
might take a look at him.
Look, I'm telling you, the Lakers are going to pick him up. If he's with the Lakers he's going to make sure that whatever is in his power, he's going to make sure that's where he comes.
Yeah. Oh, and so LeBron, they said he invests $1 million a year into his body. And they said everybody looked at that like it was a high number. But this guy broke it down in this interview I was listening to the other day. But he said, look at the return of investment.
Yeah, I've never even thought about that.
He said that everybody, when they heard LeBron invested $1 million into his body every year, they was like, wow, like who would do that?
Man, I only invest probably
he was right.
$1,500 a year in my body. Like
he invested $1 million, but now he's the first billionaire basketball player that's actively playing.
Wow.
And
so what was $1 million a year?
But that's what I'm saying. The discipline had to be taught, when it comes to that. And once it's taught, like any other habit, you keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like it becomes, you're wired that way. You're wired that whenever you face challenges or whenever you have goals, that you get up and you go do it. I remember whenever I started to see discipline flourish in my life, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
I'd wake up at 6 a.m, get to FOS by 6:45. At 2:30, I would go to the gym from 2:30 to 4.
Yeah.
At 4:15, I'd be at the Nebula Center until 10:30 to 11 o'clock at night. And then I'd go home, eat, and go to bed and wake up and do it all over again. I did that for a year and a half. No. I did that for, it might have changed in certain things, but I did that for 2 years.
Yeah.
So, and then it changed. I was working for a paint contractor. That's how it started out. I was working for a paint contractor, and I would work out between jobs. I'd work all day painting. Then I would go to the gym for an hour and a half, and then I'd finish my night at FOS.
Yeah.
And so for a total of 4 years, I was training with 2 jobs.
Yeah.
A new family, like a fresh family. Like I had 2 babies, a 4-year-old and a 8-year-old.
Yeah.
And these are things that I've seen. I'm going to say, I can't say it all was taught to me, but it's something that I've seen. Yeah. It was taught to me not by a person, but by random people's actions. Once I started my eyes were open and I was able to see what was going on in life. And that was the time where I was going through that transformation also, spiritually, physically, and mentally. So when it came to things like discipline, it was hard because I didn't have nobody to teach me discipline in the gym.
Yeah, you never seen it.
I never seen it.
Yeah.
I've heard it put this way: we're all disciplined. What are you disciplined towards?
Yeah.
So it's one guy said, some kids are disciplined to play video games.
Yeah.
Some kids are disciplined to be lazy.
Yeah.
He was like, we're all have discipline, right?
Yeah.
It's what are you gearing that discipline towards? And we all seen that Navy SEAL interview where he says, it's all small things that add up to be a big thing.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want to be successful, make your bed every morning.
Yeah.
It's never nothing that's strenuous, right? Like Dave Ramsey says, either discipline will make you or discipline will break you.
Yeah.
Like a budget's never hard to complete, right?
Yeah.
But why do you think 90-something people fail at their budgets?
That's right.
It's because they're not disciplined enough to write it down and carry it out.
Yeah. So it's like, how do you get to a place to where you are disciplined? Like you just said.
That's the thing. So that's why I wanted to ask that.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at my life.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, what is the biggest area that I struggle with?
Yeah.
And it's discipline.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of times, the things that I tell different guys that I try to help and pour into, and even, Jew and Nick, it's like when I think about water, I think about, water just goes wherever the easiest route.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you pour water on this table, it's going to find the lowest point to get off of it. Right? Because that's what water does. It finds the easiest way off, the easiest way out. And so often I have to self-assess my life and say, man, you're just like water, right? And what's the one thing that I can do to combat that? Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline will change it all.
Yeah.
And
if I will start implementing discipline in my life, doing what I say I'm going to do, right? Sticking to a schedule, taking care of my body, right?
Yeah.
Showing up when I say that I'm supposed to, be there. Just execute on the small things.
So the word is called innocuous.
What's that mean? You just looked that up.
No, I didn't.
What? Well, and think
Why
about,
would you
Man,
challenge me and question me?
So think about what Chick-fil-A does. They do the same thing every day, but they do it with excellence.
But hold on, let's go back to this.
Nick,
How
did he
He just
just
looked
look
it
that
up.
up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna show you what I just looked at. I was looking at.
That came from the Reverend.
Last night. This is what I was just looking at.
Innocuous?
Does that say innocuous on there? What does that say?
Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment.
Where did you
And
get
that's
innocuous
exactly
from?
right.
Because I spoke to a gang of scholars the other day
What's that
for the
mean?
YMCA meeting,
Drew.
Oh, I got you.
and
You heard that?
I did some studying, and I found that word, and it's in my category now.
What's it mean?
It's small things. That's what it means.
Innocuous?
Innocuous.
Hey, let me
Innocuous.
tell you about this business idea I had.
I like it.
That-
Why did you try to discredit me, bro?
Because that ain't you.
This business plan I had that beats discipline in your budget, and somebody would pay like 10% or something for it. I don't know.
It's already out there.
No, it ain't. I ain't never heard of it. But basically, you give me all your money. I pay all your bills for you. I divvy out your money in slots.
I got a name for it.
You got 100 a week for groceries. Everything is on a time schedule.
Yeah.
You get your spending money every week.
It's called Guardian.
I handle every bit of your finances, and I guarantee in a year you'll be ahead.
The financial guardian.
That's it. So why wouldn't we do that though? If I guaranteed you, if you let me manage your money in your paychecks for a year,
Yeah.
that you'll be ahead, we're gonna create this budget together,
Yeah.
and you're gonna let me carry it out for a year. Why wouldn't you do that?
Control.
Pride
That's
and
it.
control,
That's
right?
it. That's
Because
exactly
you
what
think
it
you can
is.
change it.
Yeah.
You think, oh, I'll do better. That's what we really believe, right? Like, I'll do better. I'll fix myself.
Right.
And I'll tell you, like, hey, take yourself out of the equation. Let me do it for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, nope,
Yeah.
I got to hold on to it.
Yeah, because we like the control.
You like that business?
Because yeah, it ain't a bad business.
Jew, you like that business?
Yeah, I think it'd be dope. You can make a lot of money doing that.
I mean,
help a lot of people.
I'm taking all your bank account.
Yeah.
And I'm going to divvy out your money for you.
Yeah, basically like what people do when they get checks.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Drew, what are you looking up?
I'm looking up something about discipline, bro.
So,
Discipline to have no phones on the podcast.
so that's the big issue.
Well, you got your laptop. I don't.
Is most of us can't separate emotions and discipline.
That's it.
And I talked about this on Sunday, is we're only disciplined when we feel like being disciplined.
That's it. So what changes to where we're not as disciplined? Like, is it? That's why I asked last week, as if
It's
have you won too much?
It's options. I mean, as our options increase, our willingness decreases.
That's exactly what it is. So
And I think it's who's around you too, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Think
100%.
about the military. They don't care if you got a headache. You better get up.
You better get up.
You better get up and shine your shoes and make your bed,
yeah,
because there'll be a part where you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
that's right. And
There'll be-
something has to kick in.
It either has to be somebody that holds you to a standard, or you have to hold yourself to a standard, and that's tough.
All right. So what I was looking at is we have to realize too that discipline comes with pain also.
It does.
So there's another
It's a war.
outlook on discipline when it comes to like punishment that induces change or induces discipline
Yeah,
because of the pain that we've experienced
Yeah.
and what we've been through, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And it doesn't have to mean necessarily physical pain. You
And
know,
I remember Bo, who had Bo out there running the hills at Chautauqua, his uncle or something.
yeah, man, I think he did it himself.
I mean, Bo would be out there running the hills
Yeah,
at
by
Chautauqua
himself.
Hill.
yeah.
But look how far it took him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing. Talking about that,
But
pain.
that's the talk. We're talking about pain though, because of how they were raised with
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that
in the
pain-
situations that
yeah.
they were in. So it doesn't necessarily mean it had to be physical, but that pain of being in that position when they were kids, like that forced him to strive for something greater.
Oh yeah, I would
So
say a
that
lot
put
of-
him outside the box.
Yeah,
So he's like, look, whatever I got to do to make sure that I'm successful and go to the league, I'm going to do it.
yeah.
I'm going to do it. So go ahead.
Think about these stats I hit on Sunday. Did you know if you read the Bible for 12 minutes a day, you would read it through in a year? If you read it for 6 minutes a day, you would read the New Testament in 6 months.
Yeah, that's convicting.
Like, but only 82% of people pick up their Bible on Sunday, right? I mean, yeah, 82% of people only pick up their Bible on Sunday.
Yeah,
So it's never a lack of that we can or can't do it. It's always a lack of discipline on why we don't do it.
that's what it is. And so thinking about that pain, I think that so often, man, the mental pain is a lot worse than the physical pain, right? Because it's long after the physical pain is gone.
It's a warring against your mind, right?
Yeah. So that's why I said it's there has to be this constant war that is waged going against your feelings, going against your emotions, going against comfortability, complacency, right? So like that pain, and that quote that we always say, right? The pain
like
has
a tunnel vision, a sense of tunnel vision.
Oh yeah, that regardless of how I feel, this is what I still do. This is still my schedule. This is still how I act. This is how I carry myself. What was I saying? That quote about pain, that pain, the of staying the same.
Yeah.
Right. How's it go?
It said it is.
It has to be greater.
The pain, you'll change when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change.
Becomes greater, right?
Yeah, you'll change when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change.
That's what it is.
Meaning
that'll do something to you.
Meaning that it's so painful to stay in that position that you're in.
That's it.
That it pushes you to change. It's easier to change. So for me, it was a breeze to change. Now take that lightly, but really, it was it was easier to change for me to go through that than to just not experience any hardship and then change, right?
Yeah.
So the pain of staying that pain that I experienced, the pain of not getting to see my daughter in her first, not being able to hug my daughter on her first birthday, the pain of not being able to hug my daughter on her first birthday, the pain of every time that we were in the visitation room and they brought my daughter and my wife came up there and I would see them leave knowing that I couldn't leave with my kids. Mm-hmm. The pain of whenever I called home and hearing other people have joy and I'm sitting here like struggling big time because I realized that I caused this. Yep. Listen, one time it was Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
And I called home and my biggest thing was whenever I was out there was that whenever a person gets locked up, like whenever I got locked up, I always felt a sense of like that the world was going to stop because I was the life of the party. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that was that was my toxic trait, believing that everybody was going to be miserable. Everybody was going to be sad.
They're locked up.
That they're in a prison also.
Yeah.
And I had a reality check. I called home on that Thanksgiving and I was greeted with hey, and like they were just laughing and having a good time, and like you could hear people in the background, shooting shots. Man, life went on. And when here's the thing, what hit me so hard was, how when like somebody calls from jail and people start passing the phone because people really don't want. Like people want to say, "Hey, what's up?" but they don't want to sit there and chop it up with you on the phone.
Doing,
yeah, what are you doing? Well, you're sitting in jail. They know what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So nobody wants to chop it up with you. Like people are just like, "Hey, how are you doing?" and they're passing the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm not getting any real conversation. And my mom finally picks up the phone and she's like, "Hey, baby, how are you?" And I'm like, yeah. I'm doing the best I can. And like immediately it just came over me. Like my voice started cracking.
You're like, yes, Mom, I need for you to feel me. I need for you to feel how I'm feeling. You need to be crying right now, Mom. What you doing? Celebrating. What are you doing?
That basically is how it was. They're laughing, having a good time. And I'm just like, it hit me because I thought that the world revolved around me, that the world would stop moving whenever I was locked up.
Right.
And it was totally opposite. People will move on. People will forget about you. And it always a result of the actions that and the consequences that I brought on to me and my family.
That's it. Yeah. So you felt that.
I felt that, and
so that pain
pushed me to be like, look, I ain't coming. Look, I remember after that next week when my wife came up to the visitation room, I said, I'm gonna marry you when I get out of here. Like I'm done.
I'm telling you, what shifts inside of a man whenever things are taken away from them? It's like you get your thoughts back. It's like you get your decisions. Like when a man is in that position, you're gonna find out who that real man is.
That pain. I'm telling you, pain. Hey,
it's
pain will,
motivator,
man. It's it'll motivator. It'll grow you quick.
Man, you see what all you take for granted.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Look, you want to start reading bedtime stories to your kids when you're
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, why ain't you in bed by 8 o'clock? Small things.
But listen, I want you to understand this too. It's in our human nature that we will gravitate away from that at some point.
That's what it is. That's exactly the problem.
I think that's where discipline will kick in, right?
That's where discipline kicks in.
That's it.
It said discipline is the bridge between your goals and accomplishing your goals.
Man, that's it. That's why I believe that discipline is the biggest thing that I have to implement in my life.
So
right?
you got Kentucky, you got Indiana, right?
Yeah.
And that bridge meets.
Yeah.
Without that bridge,
that's discipline. Yeah,
that's the discipline. Without that bridge,
that's
like
a perfect picture.
We're not gonna get to the destination.
Right.
I like Bella does softball training, and their slogan, her trainer has a company, and it's called Greater Than I, and on the back of the shirt it says "Greater Than I was yesterday," and that's our whole motto. Like, you're just better today than you was yesterday.
Yeah.
You're not competing.
Is that possible?
You're not. Yeah. You're not competing against them. You're not competing against her. You're not competing against anybody. Your one goal is to be better today than you was yesterday.
But I'm saying, is that really possible to be better?
Well, here's the thing.
Today than I was yesterday.
I think
definitely.
It defines on what your better was.
Yeah.
Did you put in the work today? I don't think it's about how many shots go in. It's did you get better today than yesterday?
Yeah. But a result of that should be more shots going in, right? As you
but
gradually grow.
It's not a guarantee, right?
Overnight, yeah.
Like, you may get up there and strike out, but did you put in the work? Did you get better today than you was yesterday?
Yeah. Hey, I would say I'm going through a situation right now, talking about pain and man, just not wanting to continue to be in the situation I'm in. We're working on our house. My bathroom ain't done. And the pain of having to walk upstairs using my daughter's shower.
I know. I know what you're going through.
I'm telling you, it's a motivator. It's such a motivator that I'm willing to pay whatever I got to pay to get the desired outcome, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So no matter what that is, because I don't want to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sounding like I'm ungrateful for anything, right? Because there's some people that can't even take a hot shower.
You got 4 bathrooms.
But at the same time, it's
in your mansion.
I'm tired of. I don't want to do that, right? I know the desired outcome that I want. So because I know the desired outcome and I know what that looks like, and peace is priceless.
Yeah.
Look, there ain't nothing like laying in a tub.
Oh, 100%.
And your fingers getting all wrinkly.
And you got the music playing in the background.
Yeah,
it's
you got
different.
the light set. You know what I'm saying? You set the vibe.
Yeah, it's different.
You light a candle or two.
Yeah, we didn't get this experience at the projects, did we?
But when you experience that, it's whenever you don't get to have that.
Oh, you forgot the salt.
Yeah, the bath salt.
What's the difference in, let's just say somebody paid you $18 an hour. Now all of a sudden you're disciplined to come in from 8 to 5. But you can't do that for yourself.
Yeah, man. That's a McNugget.
Like that's the hard part is literally jobs pay you for discipline.
Yeah.
And there are people that will show up to work every day for $7.25 and be more disciplined than you at your own dreams and goals.
Yeah.
And it's like, why is it that if you take their paycheck out of it, now you want to sleep in? Yeah. Now it's time to hit the chill button.
Yeah.
Now it's time to watch TV. And that is why so many people go work regular jobs. And there's nothing against a regular job. But it's because they can't be disciplined enough on their own.
That's what it is.
To do what they was going to do if they work for someone else.
Yeah, I mean, I think some people are just wired for structure.
You know why? Because they know someone else will fire them.
Yeah.
So they give themselves a break because they know they won't fire themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
But eventually what happens when you're undisciplined is what? You fire yourself.
Oh, yeah, you fire yourself.
Yeah.
Facts.
And that's what I'm saying, man. I don't like being and that's why I've been thinking about that, because I don't like not being disciplined. I don't like just going with the flow of things. I don't like just putting out fires.
Yeah, but again, like, we've never been taught how to do these things, so we're figuring it out.
But I have been taught certain things. I have God has showed me certain things about myself. Right? Here's how it is. I live, and my life goes a lot better whenever I create and I stick to a schedule.
Yeah.
Right. So even though I may not been shown that, I've experienced that. Right. My family has experienced that. The company has experienced that. When I don't stick to a schedule and I just do whatever's thrown at me, it's all over the place. Right. It's that water. It's chaos. It's yes, things get done, but it's not, my effort is not pointed in a direction going that way. So it's like, yes, of course you're taking care of things, but just like that old saying, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Yeah. So if you just wake up, because the day's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, Lord willing, you're going to make it through the day and you're going to do what you do. think about how much more you would be able to get done if you was intentional and disciplined with your time.
And think about how much a lack of discipline affects everything else.
Everything.
Because I couldn't wake up on time, it affected my mood with my kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
because I couldn't wake up on time, it affected my job performance because I had to rush out of the house.
That's it.
It affects I always tell it if one small choice affects everything else.
That's it.
Just like the first time you ever hit the snooze button. You didn't see that as a big deal till now you don't even hear your alarm clock.
Yeah.
Why do you not? And I always tell Rob this: you can't get up because when you got to get up, you get up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I like meeting with you guys, because now that
it's different.
We're all business owners.
But when Rob knows he don't have to get up,
meet. I know, that's what I'm saying.
He don't hear his phone at all.
We know when we gotta meet at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m.
Yeah,
we know,
you just can't just do whatever.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that, because now it's starting to
you got people around you that are pulling you up.
Yeah, it's going to leak over to all other areas of my life.
That's it.
The big thing to ask yourself is, what does a lack of discipline? What is it costing me?
Yeah, because
it's going to cost you everything.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that when Nick was preaching the other day, talking about what we spend our time on, what we're devoted to, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. Whenever you say the term, what you spend your time on, you're actually spending something. It's costing you something.
Yeah.
Right? So if you spend time watching TV, it's costing you something.
Yeah. I mean, I like to keep pointing to LeBron James because he's displaying it all out. One man's discipline changed his family's whole generation.
What's it say? One man's obedience is connected to so many others' legacy.
Now I'm telling you,
one man's disobedience, right?
That's it.
Or disobedience.
Well, think about the legacy LeBron left for his kids, his friends, who, all of his managers and agents are his best friends.
That's what I'm saying. One man's discipline changed not just one man's, not one family's generation, like multiple families' generation. So now. Like look,
you don't hear about him out in the club.
No,
never.
You know where you hear about LeBron at? You know where you hear about it? Where
building
he's at? Building schools. But the main thing, he's at all his majority of his son's games.
Yeah, you don't hear about him doing crazy stuff. The biggest knock on LeBron is I don't even know how people hate on him no more.
I don't either. I don't look. I used to compare LeBron and Jordan. I didn't kind of like LeBron. That. I didn't for some reason because of her and her.
Michael Jordan was our hero.
Michael Jordan was our hero, but. Because people compared LeBron to Michael Jordan so early on, it gave me like bitter feelings towards it because I'm like,
he ain't like that.
He ain't earned, but I'm looking from a different perspective. But now that I see, like what he's leaving behind, and I'm watching his kids, not only Bronny, but what's the other one's name?
Bryce.
So you got not only Bronny, but Bryce is up and coming.
Yeah,
and I think Bryce is going to shock the world.
Yeah. Here's the thing: is we get to see it displayed on and off the court, right? So, as we're getting older and we're more mature, and we see things, we know the what really matters in this life. We see that displayed off the court. So to us, it's when you compare him to Michael Jordan. Man, I would say overall, I mean, he probably is much greater, right? Just because of his actions off the court. Not much so him playing basketball, and he is very
some of his actions on the court are a little, little questionable sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, but I'm talking about what he has done off the court, man. It set the bar just to new levels.
100%.
I think what happens with most of us is we fall into the lie of I'll be disciplined when I get to a certain level, right?
100%, yeah.
So for me, it's like I'll be disciplined if I can ever get, some people think if I hit the lottery, I'll be disciplined with my money. No. If I get a raise, I'll be disciplined. But I'll hear people, they'll say, I might as well spend it because I'm broke anyway.
So would you say leaders are disciplined?
Oh, I think leadership starts with discipline, right? Because how can you lead if you're not disciplined? What are you leading people?
It. There can be a good leader and a bad leader.
Well, I think a leader is, are you the first to show up and the last to leave? Are you going to do it when you don't feel like it?
That's why
are you going to do
podcast.
it? Are you going to do it when everybody else doesn't want to do it?
Yeah,
I think
that's what it's about. So the innocuous.
What do you do when nobody's looking?
Yeah, innocuous basically means doing the small stuff that no one else is willing to do.
Yeah,
and that's how you spark the start. That's the start of being a leader, is doing the stuff that people don't do.
Yeah,
following up on the small things that people aren't following up on. That's what determines a good leader and a great leader.
Yeah. There's a separation. There's
100%.
There's a clear separation. And even like things like making up your bed. A lot of people see it. My wife says it. She'd be like, "Man, I mean, I'm getting back in it. What's the point? Why you gotta make such a big deal about it?" And I'm like, "Man, it does something to me."
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like it truly does something to me when I walk in, bro. When you see them little decorative pillows, look, you're gonna sleep better.
Yeah, 100%.
When I walk, it looks a lot more comfortable.
When I walk in my room and my bed's made and everything's cleaned up and candles are lit,
it shifts the environment.
It makes me, and I can lay down in a clean where it's peaceful.
Yeah,
because we think about it all day. We live in chaos, right?
Right.
So whenever we go home, we wanna be able to relax and take the load off and chill. I don't want to come home and have to make the bed and vacuum and go through the whole nine of that. Like,
yeah. So that's minimalists believe. They believe you should declutter your life.
Yeah.
To the point of you just basically run on.
We talked about this earlier.
Autopilot.
Yeah. We talked about this earlier.
But majority of your drawers are like this.
Kevin, I hope you're listening.
This is one thing that always gets me, and Jonah talked about it last week. Like, basically, I have my own dressers downstairs. She has her own upstairs. I have my own closet. Like, why is it so cluttered?
Yeah.
Man.
And you know what that instantly does? Because I only wear pretty much the same, collared shirt, same khakis, same pants. Like, why is our attachment so, like, that we can't get rid of that stuff?
I'm guilty of it.
Man, I'll get rid of stuff.
Dude, I ain't wore stuff. I'm telling you, look at my closet. Me and Amy was talking about it. I was like, look, we need to go through it. We got to make some space. Like,
everything that I have, I wear.
Like, what if you only had 10 shirts?
Yeah.
Like 5 dress shirts,
we feel,
5
what
t-shirts.
It is we feel like we're going to miss it. We feel like I'll wear that one day,
we'll
right?
need it. Yeah, we'll need it.
Because I got a lot of, like, polo shirts, right?
Yeah.
And
what size are they?
There's some, like, XL, 2XL. But there's some that I haven't worn in a very long time. And they say, like, if you ain't worn it in the past 4 months, that you shouldn't have it.
Yeah, you need to take it to Plato's closet.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, but the problem is my attachment to, man, if maybe I would wear it one day if I had the right outfit, right? Or just, like, it's another option,
then
right?
You got to buy a whole outfit just for...
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the problem is, man, but what I was going to say is me and Ju was talking about how so often, if you look at somebody's surroundings, it's going to give you a good indication of who that person is, right? So if you look at somebody's car and you look at somebody's house, all it is just a overflow of who they are.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's not too far from what you're seeing in the physical.
It gives me anxiety if the house ain't clean.
That's what I can't sleep good. And I don't know why, but it's like... But I also, at the same time, I don't look at other people and say, man, you should be doing this. Because if I see something that needs to be done, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to complain about something that needs to be done if I'm not willing to put in the work to do it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's why you don't compare yourself to other people. It's you're in your own fight. Like, my version of cleaning, Jonna would say, I just straighten up. Like, even if my shoes ain't in the right area, I got to straighten them up along the wall.
Yeah.
She'll be like, yeah, but that ain't where your shoes go. But in my mind, that decluttered everything.
Yeah, you like organized chaos.
Yeah, so in my mind, like, she'll be like, Nick, do you see this kitchen counter?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, yeah, I just cleaned it.
Yeah.
She'll be like, no, take everything off of it.
Right.
But in my mind, I just neatly position everything.
Organized chaos.
And that's why it's not, I don't compare myself to that person because their house may be spotless. But I compare it to myself and I battle myself, right?
Yeah.
What is discipline to you?
Yeah, so Nick don't like that, but look, I promise you Nick can wear mismatched socks.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Never.
Nah.
Yeah, you do.
Sometimes.
I know. I can't do it.
But it's mismatched.
I cannot, I promise
What
you.
is mismatched, though? Both black?
But different socks.
Nick, stop you're justifying it, bro.
Is that mismatched?
What?
Yes, it's mismatched. Two
different
black socks.
Look,
different brands, but both black.
No, it's two different socks.
That's mismatch.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
bro,
it's mismatch.
Nowadays they got clever. They put an L and an R on the socks.
I ain't seen no.
I cannot mix those
up. They do.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Because the Nike will be on the inside.
I feel like I walk different.
Instead of the outside.
Hey, you know how many times we got rid of our sock basket?
I don't want to get rid of my sock basket.
That's what I hate. I'll be like, because John will be like, we'll never do this again if you just buy me a pair, a bag of socks by Jonna, by Bella.
And throw away the whole basket.
and throw away all these mismatch.
Man, we got some nice socks in there.
That's one thing that I don't know if I could part with.
That was Jonna's excuse.
Bro, I went through it last night. Bro,
That's like a season.
Nice
that's
socks.
some seasoned grease right there.
I found some elite socks.
Hey, but that was her
That's some
excuse.
seasoned grease that's
Yeah,
on
you
the
can't throw
stove.
it away.
That was the big excuse, right? I don't want to dig through all those.
That's what I don't mind the match socks.
Rob,
Man, my wife used to fold socks together though back in the
socks.
day.
Yeah, we do too.
She used to fold them socks together, and
That's the way to do it.
it blessed me.
Bro, you don't remember back in the day? That's what my mom used to do. She used to make us do it. Like y'all go through the old socks and y'all match them, right?
Yeah.
And then throw away the ones that don't got a match.
But look, they so the thinking the mentality nowadays is look, they sell socks so cheap that why even match them?
Oh, I don't know, right?
You know what I'm saying? Why even take that time?
Socks are extremely cheap right now.
Hey, that's one thing
Not
that shows
good
you your
socks.
discipline. What about the dishwasher? You keep them forks and spoons in there.
What do you mean?
Now, somebody came over the other day.
I wish my kids would. I wish
Somebody came over. They said, "Can I get a fork?" It was convicting because I had to open up the dishwasher. They ain't never make it in the fork and spoon thing. Because I always just get used to
just pulling it out.
pour
Yeah.
clean one out of there.
Yeah, I can't do that.
But it was embarrassing when somebody came over and asked. They was like, "You got a fork?" I said, "Yeah." I mean, they're all clean, but I leave them in there.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't do. How many junk drawers I got?
2.
I just got
No,
one.
3.
Two
I
per
got
3 in
room?
the whole house. No,
3 in the whole house.
3 in the whole house. We got
Man, I got a junk drawer in my dresser.
really.
We got one.
My wife got one. We got one in our closet, and I think we got 2 or 3 in the kitchen.
1, 2. We got one in the kitchen, one in her dresser, and one in my dresser.
Yeah, you find magic
Here's
stuff
what's
in the
here's
junk
what's
drawers.
convicting. It's where because usually we go through our stuff once a year, and we'll do like a big deep cleaning.
Yeah,
And then by the 6 months later, it's like, where did all this new stuff come from?
man,
100%.
It's just excess. It's overflow.
Because we would literally get rid of all the. We'll go through room by room
Yeah,
and literally declutter and get rid of everything that we don't need.
yeah.
And 6 months later, don't even. It's like, where does all this other stuff come from?
We just acquire it.
Man,
We're just
facts.
creatures of just man. We just love things. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Jonna just can't say no. If it's free, we need it,
I feel that.
and I don't.
You can find. Look, I can always find a use for it or know somebody that needs it.
It ends up in one of those cabinets you talking about.
That's what I'm saying, dog.
I swear, I'm like, why did we need that?
It's a headache. Like I just be to the point to where I just throw stuff away.
Do you? I
don't even say
throw
nothing.
it away.
They say it's the problem with America.
Like I don't even say nothing. I just throw it away.
Think about that. They say because we can't fit everything in a house,
We get storage.
We built garages,
Or we
Yeah.
get storage
and
units.
because we can't fit everything in a house and garage, we rent storage units,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
and we still won't get rid of nothing.
That's crazy.
Hey, and that's
So let's
Think about Rob's garage.
wrap all this
It's bigger
up
than the house.
and come with the conclusion, like, or the fix to the problem. Like, so say a person is in a season right now to where they're trying to start over, they're trying to become different, or they're trying to change, or they're trying to change their life situation right now.
yeah.
What's the first step
I
when
am
it
that
comes to
person.
discipline?
Self-assess. Like it's just like the steps of
Admitting where
recovery,
you're at,
right?
right?
Admitting it, right?
Yeah.
I'm
And
undisciplined.
then what?
I'm lazy. I'm
Do something about it,
complacent.
right?
Implement steps, right? So
Yeah.
so what's some physical steps, right?
Yeah. I think first of all, let's do a vision board. You need to see every day.
I like it.
You need to see every day
We're doing
like
it towards the end
what
of the
your
year.
goals are, and so it helps keep that on the forefront of your mind. Like
Right.
when you walk past it, you look at it and you see it.
Yeah.
So it's always reminded, because I feel like we get so busy with life that sometimes like we don't spend the time we need to spend focusing on those goals. They say you need to be writing down your affirmations every single day, like
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
believe,
yeah.
what you feel. Like even the gospel tells us that. I can't tell you exactly where it's at, but it's talking about
Write it
doing
down and make it plain.
Yeah, write it down and make a plan. Like
Yeah. Make it plain.
make it plain.
In Malachi.
Either way, they both make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, write it down and make it plain. Like, what does that mean?
That's it.
Make it plain, simple.
For me,
It doesn't have to be complicated. We don't have to write out these grand schemes of like a 10-year plan. Just make a plan and make it
yeah.
plain, right?
Yeah.
Write it down and make it plain. So, will you find that verse so we can?
I think
to the
for
paraphrasing?
me, one of the biggest things, and we heard this as a kid, is the tortoise wins the race. We have to quit looking at everything as a sprint and know it's a marathon.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Like it's not, can I get it's everybody wants to lose weight in a week, right? Everybody wants a miracle to hit the lottery.
Yeah.
When I wrote in my phone, this has been my really reminder for the last month, a year of discipline could literally change your life.
That's it right there. I'm telling you.
It's not a day of discipline. It's a year of discipline can literally change the direction.
It makes me sick when I think about, and it's not about me being ungrateful. I just know that I do not live up to my full potential.
Well, and think about this.
It makes me sick. It hurts me because I'm like, man, I know that I'm not the man that I'm supposed to be. I don't execute the way I'm supposed to execute.
Man,
I don't take care of my body like I'm supposed to.
I'll be having nightmares about
Our whole world is designed for us to be undisciplined. Why? Yeah. Convenient stores, fast food. It's all to appease your undisciplined.
Yeah.
It's because I didn't think about lunch. I have to now go get lunch at the store.
Yeah, because I didn't plan for it.
It's because I'm not disciplined. Now I have to stop by the store and buy a $4 drink.
Think about that's me every day.
It kills you. Think about like Starbucks, how much they charge $8 for your undisciplined.
Man.
Because you can't get up and make a coffee. You would rather run out and go buy one.
Hey, that's a word.
What you don't realize is an $8 coffee costs you probably $5,000 in a year.
Man, 8 times 3. Yeah, that's about
every day a week.
A month.
8, 16, 24, 32, 48. 64. No, 48, 54.
Let's just say $50 a week. That's $200 a month. That's sickening. That's $2,400 a year
on coffee. So, and that's not the only thing you're probably going to order. You're probably going to order.
Oh yeah.
Whatever else. Yeah. So I mean, that's minimal.
Them pop cakes.
That's minimal. I mean, that's the least.
So think about the world is literally screaming at you, be undisciplined. Yeah. We'll take care of it, right?
Yeah.
We're convenient. We're here for you. We're playing on your undiscipline. We're going to make it convenient for you to get a cold drink because we know you forgot one on your way out the door.
So I would say the world does do that, man, but we know where it comes from. Think about how slick that is. Man, I'm telling you, we are fighting a real enemy in the devil, right?
Yeah.
So if I can get them undisciplined, they'll never walk in their purpose.
Yeah. What's the scripture say?
It wasn't in Malachi. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was wrong. Habakkuk 2.
Habakkuk.
That sounds like
Habakkuk.
Lewis led verse 2.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verses 2 and 3. Then the Lord replied, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets so that they may run with it.
I think that's stuff we never learned too. Like, hey, write down your goals.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying.
And your parents didn't. Like, Jonna sent me something yesterday. She said she was going to start keeping a memory book for the kids.
Man,
so they could look back on it and see. I was
that's
like,
a good one.
I was like, that's convicting. Like,
that's a real good one.
Milestones. So we wasn't taught like, hey, what's your goal? Like to teach our kids, like, what's your goal for this year? Man, that's powerful.
Today I'm going home and doing that.
Hey, I'm telling you, it makes me. I tell my wife all the time. The only thing when it's said and done with, right? We're 60, 70 years old. What are you gonna have to look back?
Oh, we're gonna look back and say, man, I wish I could have raised my kids differently.
What are you gonna have to look back on? What is the one thing that you will have?
Memories,
pictures,
memories.
Right. So that's why I'm so big on taking pictures because I'm like, man, I want to capture these
moments. Oh yeah, that's understandable. People are like, why y'all got to share all this stuff on Facebook? Well, I share it because one day I want to remember. That's why we take pictures. That's something we're gonna look back 30 years from now.
Yeah,
and we're gonna go through these albums, and I want that for my family. I want to be older and have my grandkids over, and we're going through these pictures, and I'm talking about these memories with their parents. I never got that as a kid.
That's what I'm saying. So
I don't have it now.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So but that's how you change. That's how you change generations, bro. You start instilling those moments and those things in your family that is just you. Those are things that you look forward to.
Yeah, in the CSB version, I like this one better. It says, "The Lord answered me, write down this vision, clearly inscribe it on tablets, so one may easily read it."
Yeah, that's
right. So make it plain. Like, where do you want to be?
Steve Harvey, he added in the Steve Harvey version, but his sounded good. It sounded.
Yeah, look. So yesterday, not to pick on him. But like, look, if we don't know where we're starting at, how do we know where we want to get to, right? So we was talking about weight, and Nick didn't want to say it, right? Like,
he did,
And so, but look, I'm guilty of it. I don't want to say where I'm at because just know where I'm going, right?
Yeah.
So don't worry about where I'm at. We'll get past that because we don't want to. I think it'll do something to us, but I think that just like we talked about, man, that pain is you need to feel that pain.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that's going to that's going to change you.
We got it. Is anybody leaving any comments on there?
We got 0 viewers. Nah, I ain't even look. No, but I think that's the biggest thing is, are you disciplined or are you not?
And that's the
And
thing.
why not?
I mean, I like that thing, right? Discipline is the bridge.
Between your goals and achievements.
Man, that's it. Like I'm telling you, I'm about to. When I think about it, just like you said, you oftentimes when you think about it, like you have dreams, nightmares about it.
Yeah.
I oftentimes get emotional when I think about how undisciplined I am.
Oh, I do too.
I know what God has
I
created.
wake up in the middle of the night. Like I'll wake up in the middle of the night with my anxiety levels through the roof because I'm like I wake up thinking about it.
And because I know that, like, man, God has purposed me. It's unfilled potential. It's unmet potential in what I'm called to be.
And it's the battle within. I remember I was like, I'm gonna get up at 5 tomorrow and I'm gonna read. And immediately that night, I'm having a war with myself that I'm gonna be tired if I get up at 5.
Absolutely.
Not even trying it.
Yeah.
I told myself I would be tired.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if I would be tired because I'm warned with myself that night of how tired I'll be if I get up at 5.
That's what it is. But
it was literally a war within. But think about what
that's where the war's always.
Think about what Mr. Miyagi did with the Karate Kid. He didn't go put him in a fight and say, "Here, I'm gonna teach you karate." He said, "Get them wax on and wax off that car."
Yeah.
He said, "Do this."
He said, "Start small." Yeah. Right. He said, if he knew that if you will start there, it's just like teaching a kid. You know, teaching the kid a life lesson. You don't teach a kid a life lesson by putting them out in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
No, you start in the gym, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You start just by showing up. You start with very small steps. You know, it matters over a large length of time. And man, I'm telling you, it's something about to happen.
Yeah,
bro, something's about to happen. Mm-hmm. You know, because once you realize it and identify it,
all facts,
and you're
proactive.
You identify that pain, and you're like, man, I don't want to be in this state no more.
And you stay proactive at it. So I'm telling you, something magical happens.
Something clicks,
and you never know what can happen with a little bit of discipline. They said you never set out to write a book; you set out to write a page.
That's it.
And then you write another page, and then you write another page, and it eventually becomes a New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, I'm about to look. You got me motivated.
The biggest thing that
he's got me motivated.
Why a book dismotivates you is because you think you have to write a book today.
Yeah.
They said, what if you just wrote a page today? Just like how I write my daily devotions every Monday.
Man.
Well, who knows what that may turn into one day having a devotional book.
That's it. 365 days.
Yeah, like literally, I probably have 100 of them.
Man,
now.
You know what? It's crazy because people outside of you is gonna see it before you do. Yeah. You know, I got this guy. He's got schizophrenia, so like his mind is, but he's a dreamer.
Yeah,
he's a go getter.
Yeah,
and he was in FOS, and we started this book. We started this journal, and it's almost done. We're like at day 25.
Yeah,
and we're just gonna do a 30-day devotion, but it's called irregular intimacy.
Really?
Like it's different.
What's that?
I mean, it's not your normal intimacy. It's a spiritual intimacy between you and God, and that's it.
Dang.
Hey, that's deep, ain't it?
It's really called irregular.
It's called irregular intimacy. That's what we named it.
Man. Oh, you named it that.
We named it that.
Oh.
Yeah. That's deep, ain't it? Like,
yeah.
And it's talking about the progression, like it's a devotion about the me and Casey Kelly. Yeah. And he messaged me about 2 weeks ago, said, "Hey man, we need to drop that book."
Yeah.
So
Casey's
I feel like that's and here's why I feel this way. Like I need to jump on this stuff. And we talked about the book and getting this stuff together is because Les Brown talks about it all the time. And he says,
most things die in the graveyard.
Dog. He said the greatest dreams and the biggest goals died in the graveyard.
Yeah.
They die in the graveyard.
I told you a year ago, he has one of the best motivational songs I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But that's it. We think it has to be perfect. We
minimize it. Yeah.
Like, and that's what I'm glad you said is most people see it before you do.
Yeah.
Most people believe it before you do.
Right.
And that's why you're your worst enemy. We are our worst enemies.
Yeah.
And
the biggest enemy I ever faced was that inner me.
Yeah, like that's it.
You know, it's if you can conquer self, something magical will happen.
And it's so crazy. Like every time I write a devotional, it's so crazy. I'll be like, man, I know God gave it to me because we're so prone to think about what other people think. I think somebody's gonna think it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like I'm
gonna record that song next week.
Instead of thinking,
mark my words.
Instead of thinking about the good it can do, or maybe this is gonna impact somebody, our mind usually drifts to, man,
there's gonna be one person.
Yeah, if one person makes one negative remark about it.
Yeah.
And that stands out. Look, Jew be in the comments.
Yeah.
Jew can't take it.
Man, but here's the reason why I can't.
Jew cannot take it.
White Bull, so it gets to me so much when people leave negative comments. Like, people look at some of this stuff and they don't see the journey behind it. Like, I've poured out my blood, sweat, and tears. Like, I fought for this.
But is anything that
my
you
life
say to
was
them
on the
going to
line.
change their perspective?
I forgot.
Oh, yeah. I check people all the time.
Is that going to change the way that they see it?
A lot of times they do. 100%.
I forgot what rapper he said he used to argue on people on the internet like it was real life.
But I learned a lesson. I'll tell you.
And then he said he figured out it was just like Joe from Oklahoma that was sitting on his mom's couch, and he was ready to go kill him. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Off a comment that he left on social media.
There's two comments I'll tell you that really.
And
there's multiple.
You don't even know
him. You don't even know him.
Yeah.
But one was when a guy was just talking crazy. And, which they always talk crazy, but I was on one that day. So I took it off the platform and I went to the message box. And I told them, I said, listen, and this is true. People and this is off the fact, guys, we appreciate you tapping in. If you want to continue going on, we're going to keep going. But people that are miserable and they're not happy with their own self.
Yeah.
They are the ones that continue to pour out the negativity to everybody else. Misery loves company, right?
Right.
So I've learned that these people are just hurting inside. So what I told them was, I said, listen, I looked at your social media and I see you desire to be an influencer and you want to help people. But I'm telling you right now, people will never listen to you because of your state of mind and your mindset and how you treat people.
Right.
You will always be a product you will always be a product of, I don't know how I worded it, but basically that's what you'll be known as. Yeah. Basically, that's the product you produce is negativity. So people will never listen to you. They won't respond to you. And I said, I'm sure people don't like being around you right now.
Right.
And the kid said, you know what? You're right. He said, you're right. He said, I said that because I'm miserable and I'm hurting. And like, I just don't, it's not fair that you're strong and you're happy and I'm miserable over here. Mm. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, me being positive has a reaction to other people to where it makes them look at themselves and hate themselves. So they want to continue to hate more. You know what I mean? So like, I just didn't understand it. But here's the last reason. Here's another reason. There was a guy that told he got mad because I called him out on something, in which I probably should just stay out of it. But he said he was going to come kill my family and rape my kids. He said that.
Yeah.
Like, and I,
in the comment?
Yeah. But I told him, I said, listen, you don't know who I was before, but, and this is besides the point, like, we knew exactly where he lived already.
What do you mean?
Like, one of my friends knew exactly where this guy lived.
Yeah.
Everything about him before we even had this the conversation was over.
Right.
They knew, they was ready to go and pull up at his doorstep. I mean, this is how crazy it is, right?
Yeah.
But I find out that these people are just hurting and they're miserable, right?
That's what it is. Yeah.
But here's the last reason why I quit responding to people is the last discipline, right? Pain. So I commented back on a comment, and it wasn't being like crazy, like I was, cussing or anything like that. But I shot a shot back. They shot a shot at me. I shot a shot back. Well, they reported my comment.
Yeah.
And I almost lost my whole TikTok.
Yeah.
Like they banned me for like 24 hours, and it said the next one, like, I'll be done. Period. So pain, we learn through pain, right? Like I'm like, we're building this platform. Like I don't want to stop that. So I put my pride aside, and I'm done. I'm done.
The loudest critics come from the nosebleeds.
Telling you,
people that ain't nowhere near the game.
Yeah, because the people that are close to you, they're encouraging you, they're pushing you. They're cheering for you.
The loudest critics talking about you can't hit. People in the nosebleed section.
Man.
Yeah, you can't even hear up that far.
Yeah, I think that's why it's so important to just be disciplined and not results driven.
Yeah,
you just put in the work.
Yeah,
And like LeBron, think about how many people has a critique of him.
Yeah.
What if he let that define him?
That's
Yeah.
it.
You know?
That's it, man. Discipline.
All right, pray us out, Rob.
Hey, real quick.
He started stuttering.
Nick
Yeah,
got did you notice Nick's cat eye ring?
Man, I noticed it. It looked like a Lewis
Man,
leg
he
ring.
got it is.
I knew it. I knew it when I
Look at
seen
that,
it.
man.
Like
He
it,
got the
Yeah, I like it.
tiger eye.
It's almost like a vampire
That
ring.
look too old school.
Yeah,
That's one of the
Looks
rings where
different.
the vampires be like, kiss my ring.
Yeah, kiss the ring.
Kiss the ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. You want to pray us out real quick?
Yeah, definitely. Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you for this platform. I thank you for your goodness, your grace. I thank you for just a constant reminder, that we are created to, walk in your purpose. Lord, I pray that we are men of that just glorify you in all we do and who we are. That we will, we will just make war against that unfilled, unmet potential, Father. That we would resist complacency. That we would resist the comfortability. That we would rise above it. That we would lead well. I pray, Lord, that this platform, that it reaches somebody for your glory, Father, that something that they've heard may spark something inside of them. I pray, Lord, that you watch over us as we go, keep us safe until we come back. I thank you for your grace. I thank you for the work that was done on the cross. And even though that we may not be where we think we should be, I thank God that we ain't who we used to be. It's in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yeah.
You guys have a good week.
Share
see you next
this.
week.
Peace.
Share this.
Peace. Ju, you gonna do the song?
Yeah, we're going to do it next week. I'm in my element.
Regular.
I think I might do it right here.
Are we still on the camera?